Dear students, today we are going to discuss the new topic tenses. Before we go to this topic, I want to discuss certain things that to understand tenses better, we should have knowledge of the verbs. Verbs, all about verbs, we should know. In the sense, we should know what is verb, we should know the kinds of verbs, the different tense forms of verbs, and uses of verbs. Rather, more important than this, we should be aware of the auxiliary verbs, that is helping verbs. And there are two different types of auxiliaries. One, primary auxiliaries, and second, modal auxiliaries or modals. But primary auxiliaries are very important in terms of framing or forming different tenses. See, tenses are impossible without auxiliary verbs and different verb forms. You should be aware of the verb forms. You should be able to make the verbs in their different forms. That is present form of verb, past form of verb, perfect or past participle form of verb, progressive form of verb, that is continuous form of verb, ing form. What are infinite, non-finite verbs, what are finite verbs, isn't it? All about verbs you should be aware. You should know their forms. You should know their uses. Then we will be able to understand tenses and their uses well manner. So let me tell you how tenses are important. Tenses are important in terms of language. So to define the action to particular time, we need tenses. So here we are supposed to discuss the tenses in detail. First of all, I want to tell you what is tense. Tense is nothing but the verb form which denotes the specific time of action. Tense is nothing but a verb form which tells us specific, definite, or some appropriate time of action. Such verb forms are called the tenses, or the tenses in the form of verbs. So we should be aware of all the tense forms of the verbs which we use. Now let us understand the concept of the tense. See, here the three main divisions of time are present, past and future. It is told here the tenses are divided into three main divisions. That means altogether time can be divided into three major divisions, three different parts. Time can be divided into present, past and future slots. See, time now time then and time to come. Time now is present. Now means abhi, at this time. Then means some time before, जो पहले हुआ था. And time to come means yet it is to come, or the future. This is the concept of the tense. Or you can say, based on this, tense is nothing but the division of time to denote or to tell the specific time of action. Now, the verb of the sentence has most to do with denoting time. That means verb is only the element, verb is only the word in the sentence which is associated with these time slots, because verb is action and that action is associated with the time. So we say there are three tenses of the verb, as I told you, and we name them like the present tense, the past tense, and the future tense. The word tense means time, that we need to understand. I hope now you are clear with the tenses, the concept of tense, how it works, how time and tense go hand in hand. Tense is nothing but the different time slots, different slots of time, that is tense. Now let us go ahead. Time, whether present, past or future. See, whatever slot it may be of time, whatever the slot it may be of time, that is, may it be present slot of time, past or future slot of time. Time is further divided to indicate whether it is something that generally happens at no specific time, or take place at the given moment, or stands completed at the moment, or continues over a period of time. Now I want you people to understand this concept. If you understand the second concept of time related to the subkinds of tenses, specifications of time slots, then you are done with 100% of understanding the concept of tense. See, every time slot that is present, past, future, these are the three main divisions of time. Each division is further divided to indicate what each division indicates. Each division indicates where the action that happens generally, that is simple tense or indefinite tense. Simple tense is also called as indefinite tense. It has no specific time to happen. Secondly, it is to denote certain action takes place at the given moment. Means whatever the given moment, at that moment the action is happening. That is continuous tense. Simple or indefinite tense, continuous tense, and third is stands completed, the action which stands completed. that is perfect tenses, and continues over a time, over a period of time. Continues over means it goes on, it never stops. That means in the past it was going on, at present it has been done, after finishing, after doing it even, it is still going on. The first is indicated by the verb in its present, past or future forms. The second is indicated by the verb in its participle form, going, working, that is present participle form. The third is indicated by the use of has, have or had with the past participle form of the verb, that is thrown, shown, v3, to have plus v3. And the fourth by have, had, been and participle form of the verb, that is have been leaving, had been leaving, etc. As the table of tenses of the verb to drive given below indicates the structures and the forms of tenses and their subkinds. See, I hope you may not feel it difficult to understand, but we wanted to understand the concept of tenses and the subkinds of tenses. Tenses and subkinds of tenses. Once we have understood, now in simple language I will tell you, there are three main kinds of tenses. These three main kinds of tense are present tense, past tense, future tense. That means present time, past time, future time. And every main kind of tense has four subkinds, and these four subkinds are applicable in every time slot, that is present, past and future. And these four subkinds are simple, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous. What is same? Simple, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous. Simple, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous. So you can add these two: simple present, present continuous, present perfect continuous, and so on and so forth. Now a reference to the three tenses, each with four forms, was given in chapter 14. That is, it is related. This note is not in general for the students, but it is specified for this book. Now we will go to the structures of the forms. Now going to the structures of the form, I want you people to understand how primary auxiliaries help to make or frame the different tenses. That we will discuss first, and then we will go with the tenses in detail with their uses. See, here are how the tenses are formed. As in the explanation when we were discussing to understand the concept, there also it was told that simple present tense is formed with the help of present form of the verb, and simple past tense is used to form with the past form of the verb, and future tense is used to form with the shall will plus first form of the verb. See, simple present tense V1 forms simple present tense. Sometimes to form questions in simple present tense, to do's present form of helping verbs are used. in negative sentences also. To frame negative sentences, we need helping verbs, and we borrow those helping verbs from to do's. The same thing here. Simple past is formed with the help of V2, and when we happen to frame questions in simple past tense, we need to use did. And when we use did, the main verb with the did should be in present form, and this combination together denotes, this combination together promotes the past tense, simple past tense, that is V2. And in negative sentence also, we need to frame negative sentences, we need did. Third is simple future tense is shall will plus V1. This forms simple future tense. So we have discussed the structures of simple tenses. Now continuous tenses. This is very simple. See here, primary auxiliaries I was talking about in the formation of simple tenses. We needed primary auxiliaries, that is to do's helping verbs here also, and here we used to be's helping verbs. Sorry, these are the modals, but they are used, to be's are used in the further tenses. These are modals, but here in past and in present, simple present and simple past, we needed primary auxiliaries, that is to do's. Now to be's helping verbs plus progressive form of verb form all the continuous tenses. Here you can see in B, continuous tenses. Present continuous, am is are plus V4. Past continuous, was were plus V4. Future continuous, shall be plus, shall will plus, be plus V4. See, all continuous tenses, to be's helping verb plus V4 form all continuous tenses. Like am is are present, and this is V4 or continuous form. So what is this form? Present continuous. Was were are past, so this is past continuous. Shall be will be future form of the to be's plus continuous. Shall be will be plus V4. This is future, and this is continuous form, future continuous tense. Now you must have understood, without to be's helping verbs, continuous tenses cannot be formed. The same way, perfect tenses cannot be formed without to have's helping verbs. So I told you primary auxiliaries are very important. What are primary auxiliaries? To do's, to be's and to have's. Without these primary auxiliaries, tenses cannot be formed. So I was telling you in the beginning that you should be aware of the auxiliaries and their forms. Here to have's, to have's present, and this is past perfect, past participle, that is perfect form. See, have has shows, have has show present tense, and this is perfect tense, so present perfect. Had shows past, and V3 shows perfect, past perfect. Shall have, will have shows future, and V3 shows perfect, so this is future perfect. So this way, without to have's form, to have's plus V3 form all perfect tenses, and to be's plus V4 form all the continuous tenses. And now perfect continuous tenses are also formed with the help of to have's helping verbs. Here are to have's present plus this perfect denotion and this continuous form of the verb. So this is present perfect, ये perfect दिखाने के लिए यूज किया जाता है perfect tense. So present perfect, this is continuous. So past perfect continuous tense. This is future, ये future दिखाते, future perfect continuous tense. So one thing I want to tell you, if you keenly observe the names of the tenses, the titles of the tenses or subtitles of the tenses. Those tenses will help you to understand their structures and their uses. All the uses are like indicated by their titles, like simple present tense, that is indefinite, continuous, at present the actions are going on, perfect, the action is perfect, then perfect continuous, that is continuous means action is going on over the time. ओवर द टाइम मीन्स कब शुरू हो गया था पास्ट में, परफेक्ट हो गया अभी प्रेजेंट में, परफेक्ट होके भी अभी कंटिन्यूस पोजीशन में है, तो सच टेंसेस आर डिनोटेड विद द हेल्प ऑफ perfect continuous tenses. I hope you have understood the structures of all the tenses and how to frame the sentences of different tenses with the help of primary, auxiliary verbs and the verb forms of tenses. So I hope you have understood well, and now we are supposed to go to understand the uses of the tenses. Dear students, the uses of the tenses are very much important in terms of application. That means when we are supposed to use tenses correctly or appropriately in our day-to-day spoken and written language, written English, there we need to correctly use the tenses. So correct usage of tenses may affect your language, forming the correct meaning, making correct meaning, decreasing confusion of meaning, and making better understanding. So tenses helps us to build our language, strengthen our language, and once we have good language with correct usages of the tenses, there would not be any difficulty to convey the message, to understand the message, to understand the text, to present our ideas. So everything will be clear. So dear students, you are supposed to understand each and everything. May this topic of grammar would be, or may it not be, your target subject, but that may help you to furnish your language, and further a furnished language, a good command over language will definitely help you in your subjects to understand better, to make the things clear, or to convey the message or convey your thoughts in correct meaning. Now bit structures we understood, and now usages we are supposed to discuss. Uses are specific and certain regulations we need to follow when we discuss the uses of the tenses. For example, the simple present tense is used in different expressions. Here there are given some 7 expressions in terms of using simple present tense. See, the first use of simple present tense is to express general truths. General truth means natural truth, or you can say sometimes universal truths. For example, the earth moves round the sun. This is natural, universal, or general truth. Hot air rises and cold air descends. This is also general truth. Honey is sweet. Honey is sweet is general truth. So whenever you are to express general truth, you are supposed to use simple present tense form. The structure we have discussed, that is first form of verb happens to be in this structure. Now second use, to describe a habit or custom, that is habitual actions are expressed with the help of simple present tense. For example, I go to school every day. The office opens at 10 o'clock. I wake up at 7 o'clock. Isn't it? I take my food late afternoon. See, so these are our habits, and such habitual actions can be expressed with the help of simple present tense. Now third use, simple present tense is used to express what is actually taking place at the present moment. See, I write the child runs, that means the child is running. At present something is happening. Such actions are also denoted with the help of simple present tense, as examples are given here. Fourth use, it is also used to describe past events in order to make the description seem more vivid or real. If you want to show the things which happened in the past, if you want to make those happenings, those events more specific, more vivid means clear, more effective, you can use simple present tense forms of structures to do so. You are invited to see it in your mind's eye as running picture. Hemu's army now advances. See, this is in passive form. Here you can understand better. Hemu's army now advances, this is present tense, and the bloody battle commences. Actually, you are narrating or describing something, and if you are here, you are describing some past event, some event from the battle which took place in the past, but using present tense, using simple present tense to describe such remarkable moments from such past events, you can use simple present tense to make them influential, very meaningful and vivid. We need to understand the note here. This is called the historic present. If we are describing some historical event in simple present tense, to make it effective, to make it vivid, to make it very clear, to make it influential, this process is called historic presence, and this expression is called historic present tense, or the present tense denoting historic events. I hope you have understood these 4 uses of the simple present tense and the previous issues what we discussed regarding tenses, and the further parts, further uses of simple present tense and other tenses we will be discussing in the next period. Thank you very much.